Hello and welcome back to another video of mine. So today we're on Gran Turismo Sport for a daily race C, the new daily race. Races around. We've got for race B Group 3 race Dragon Trail Seaside Reverse, and then we've got this race which is Group 4 a topless racing course, and we're going for 10 laps of this Japanese circuit. Starting from P14, so let's see what we can do. I'm going to be driving the Gran Trophy, as it is a car that I drive in the FIA Manufacturers Series, because it's also very good on the tyres and it is quite a car that is nice to drive. Sometimes it can be a bit sketchy under braking, but that's it. And now we're going to go into turn 1, and the Toyota's going to go a bit deep. He's going to hit the Subaru in the WRX, and we're going to manage to get past, and we're up into P13 after just one corner, and into turn 2. Toyota goes a bit wide and then a bit deep, and then we end up making a bit of contact with him through turn 3 into turn 4, and into turn 5 the hairpin, and we get a little bit of a dive bomb from Canadian. Then through this long left-hander, we keep our position, but then the Subaru behind has got a good exit, the Brazilian, and maybe he's going to look for a move into the hairpin, which he does. But then we can't go for the switchback because this Canadian again is just not really taking into account that we are there, just kind of pushed us right wide really. So then we've lost 2 positions. And through these series of fast and sweeping corners, a really good combo, but it's so hard to overtake. It really is. It's so difficult. And now through the last couple of corners, just roll over this trophy, and we just can't quite make a move there. We kind of make him a boost, give him a little boost through the penultimate corner, and then uses that, and then he kind of turns into the Brazilian. So he's being a bit dirty really, just using his other opponent's cars to help him rotate really. Then going to turn 1 for the second time, and Subaru's got his braking point really sorted out. And since I hadn't even done 1 lap of practice prior to this, this was that was the only lap that I'd done before this lap really. That first lap, I hadn't done any practice in the one. I'd done literally nothing. Through the hairpin once again, the Subaru's gone deep, but we'd get a bit of wheel spin on the exit. We're on the medium tyres and not the soft, so traction is a little bit of a cost really. We're going to have less grip. And once again through this hairpin, I'm braking just at that second arrow, but at the time of editing I did realise that this is a little bit later than that. And that Canadian who was I mentioned before has now picked up a penalty. I don't quite know where that was from. And then he's pushing the Toyota wide, so being really aggressive it seems. But he's a fast driver. And for the most part of this first race, you're going to see some really great racing. There's battles, and I have a really slow fastest lap at the end of this. It's only a 53.6, which is just not quick at all, but because of all the fighting, I just couldn't set a competitive lap time. But I guess what I'm doing when I'm coming to my second account, it's not about getting a high position and winning, it's just about enjoying the racing really, when you're on an alternate account. It looks like the Brazilian's gone off. I think the Canadian had a little bit to do with that, so maybe he didn't, maybe he did, but a bit suspicious. yeah. And looks like another person's gone wide. The Canadian number trophy. And he's going to have some dirty tyres, and it looks like the Brazilian's going to have a look on him, but he goes a bit deep. And now we're going to try and see if we can make a move on this Subaru down into the hairpin. But he just gets his braking point sorted. But we still have the inside line. He just needs to get a bit more traction with our WRX. I'm pretty sure it is 4-wheel drive. And then I just have to back out through this corner because I mean going side by side through it would slow you down so much. And those two trophies going hammer and tong up ahead. Once again the Canadian pushing his now fellow Canadian wide. Then we make a little look up the inside of this Brazilian, but we can't make it work, and now the US person behind is gonna now have a look, and he almost get past, and now this person in the Lexus, he's gonna make a move. He's had a bit of an issue, it seems. And just because the Lexus has supreme top end compared to these handling cars like the Toyotas and the Renault, it can pull away so much. It would be a really nice car for its top end speed. It's not the best, but it's still pretty decent. And coming through this little kink, I tried to make the move stick, but it wasn't really on. I'm gonna once again have another look down the inside of turn 2, but it isn't just gonna, space isn't really gonna open up. And once again we're gonna look through the hairpin, but the move isn't on. And maybe I should have pitted the previous lap because I wouldn't have been held up in all this traffic. I could have been a lot quicker. And through this that long left-hander we get a good exit compared to this Lexus. Can we brake late? Not late enough. And then downhill to this final little section of the circuit. Can we make any more positions before we go in for our pit stop? See, we're just all over the back of this Lexus. We can't make a move. We're getting close, but we just can't. I'm going to send one up the inside, but the move wasn't really on, so I'm not going to get the position. And through what is basically the penultimate corner, because the little kink that leads you to the main straight is not much of a corner. And going through this final corner, we are trying to make a move on this Lexus because it's going really slow. And then we're all going into the pit lane. I didn't really know that we were going into the pit lane, and that pit lane pit lane at topless. The entry it's shocking. It is really annoying. It really is. Yeah, we make our pit stop, and it looks like one other person was on the soft tyres, but the rest of us were on the mediums. It is quite early to strap on a set of soft tyres and get on the mediums. Really early for some reason, I don't know why. Never really seen a car that's good on tyres. And through this first corner we've lost the position to this Gran, and we're going to try and make a look up the inside, but it isn't going to really open up. And then we're going to try around the outside of turn 2, but he squeezes us. It's good defending from him. That trophy is a very wide car, so it's quite easy to defend. Can't quite get the traction coming out of this hairpin of turn 5. Can we try through this long sweeping left-hander of what I think is turn 6, and then with the slightly colder tyres we just got a bit deep, and now we're going to have dirty tyres and cold tyres, which I don't recommend. It's not very good. And then there's someone serving a penalty up ahead. Are we going to be able to grab a position? It doesn't look like we are. And he's going to push the Lexus wide. And Remember, McGann's going to try and have a look through. I mean, he's going to push the Canadian, so this Canadian really, in the Lexus, is really getting battered. Now we're going to look up the inside of him. Maybe he's got some dirty tyres, and we just about get the move sorted. Bit of contact on the way through, so he's been pushed out wide 3 times and must be not too happy about that. And through this final corner, that trophy's all over what looks like to be a Mitsubishi, which isn't the most popular of choices for car. I've seen a lot of McGann trophies, and that Brazilian in the Subaru who we were battling earlier in the race, now he has been undercut by all of these guys, and the two ahead, they're still fighting. Hopefully one of them makes a mistake and we get through, and there's a Canadian ahead with the penalty. Remember, McCann does get through, and I'm going to try and follow him through. It just doesn't quite open up. I'm going through here with, looks like that's a 4 wide moment. That is a 4 wide moment, and this person in the Lancer is really not happy at me. He was just like door banging. I don't know what I did wrong. That had nothing to do with me. And then he pushes me off. We've gone all the way down to P15 now. And then he's going to go for a dive bomb. So really, he's not the most respectful, but oh well, there's nothing we can do. And then the Canadian, the trophy's going to pick up a penalty. Now we're going to go back on this Lancer. We're going to void him out the way. So he's not the most respectful, so why should I be respectful back? And he's going to try and punt me through this corner. And we're going to block him, and then he's going to force his way through. And there's someone ahead who's spun it. And through this final corner. See if we can get a good exit onto this main straight, which we do. It's a better one than this Lancer. He may have the better straight line speed here. The trophy isn't much of a power car. Going to use a slipstream, then we're going to see if we can make it round the outside. But that's not really on. Just going to look for the switchback. The corner isn't really tight enough for that to be successful. Then maybe we'll try round the outside of turn 2. Don't know what turn through is, but okay. And he just doesn't quite have the grip, and we're going to get round the outside of him for P12, and once again he's going to punt us. And he's going to dive bomb us round the outside, which just isn't really going to work. And he's sent himself wide now. So apart from that, there wasn't too much racing. Now skipping it a little bit further on, all the way to the end of lap 9, and now being pressured by the Brazilian behind. Hopefully we can hold on to this top 10 position, which would be really good considering we started P14 and this was basically the top split of the Americas lobbies, which is quite an achievement to be top 10 in such high lobbies, I think. Through turn 2, keeping it nice and tidy, trying to take some good lines, and through the hairpin, keeping it nice and tight, making sure we're not making any mistakes to keep our top 10 position. And by the end of the race, yes, we do keep our top 10 position. As you can see, we don't just keep our P10. We got all the way up to P9 now, because there was someone who had to have a 1 minute penalty because they forgot to change their tyres. They didn't use both sets of tyres, I think. You have to use both the mediums and the softs, and they did not use both the mediums and the softs, so unlucky to them. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, do consider hitting that like button if you haven't already, and subscribing once again if you haven't already. It does really help a small channel like me out. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.